What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're going to talk about why my wife switched from her Pixel Fold now to a Galaxy Z Fold 5. Now, she's kind of like me. She was using the Galaxy Z Fold line since I think the 2, and she's been using that ever since. And then the Pixel Fold came out and she switched to that. And now again, she switched back. And I wanted to go through some of the reasons why she wanted to switch back to the Galaxy Fold in general versus having this Pixel Fold. So without further ado, let's get into those reasons. And I think this is a really good thing to talk about because it gives a female's perspective, and some of these things are going to be slightly different than what I say. So the first one was, you know, with the Pixel Fold, it's actually really hard to put a pop socket. I love the love handle. It works great on the Pixel Fold, but pop sockets, that's what my wife likes the most. And you can put it on here, you can hold it, but it won't stand up. You have to, it's just, for some reason, the way the phone is created and the way the pop socket works with it, you just can't stand up the pop socket. At least I couldn't figure out a way. So it didn't work out well. I know she had the same problem. So the love handle works great on there. So that was one thing, she wasn't able to use her favorite pop sockets on the Pixel Fold. The next thing that she, didn't really not like, but she noticed, especially when she went back to the Galaxy Z Fold 5, was that the Pixel Fold just didn't seem as bright. One thing about the Pixel phones in general is you really, and I've said this before, you have to have it to a brightness of about 80 or 90% for it to seem really, really bright. If you have it at anything like 60 and below, it just does not seem bright. With Samsung, you can have that thing at like 30 or 40 and you're like, damn, this is pretty bright. And then when you put it up to 100%, it's awesome. So that was a big thing that she noticed, is that it just doesn't seem as bright as the Galaxy Z Fold phones. Now, not everything's gonna be bad. I'm kind of just going through this list at random, but this is a positive one, and it's that she noticed that the Pixel Fold actually seems to have better battery life than the Galaxy Z Fold 5 in standby time and just regular usage. So you could get through a day a lot longer with the Pixel Fold versus the Z Fold 5. And things can change obviously with updated software and usage patterns, but as of right now, she says she prefers the battery life on the Pixel Fold. She loves how wide and useful and easier to read the front screen of the Pixel Fold is versus the Galaxy Z Fold 5, because I agree with her. Like, I don't really hang out in the front display of the Z Fold 5. I know she does, but she doesn't enjoy it that much. It's just so skinny, and it's a great size on the Pixel Fold. You can do pretty much everything you'd want and you'd be pretty happy on there just because of how wide it is and pretty easy to use at the same time. And that kind of leads us into the other thing about the Pixel Fold displays, and that is that she wasn't really happy, and this is something I really ran into and why I left. She wasn't happy with the aspect ratio of this inside display. A lot of the apps didn't take hold and take full screen of how she wanted to use it. So she ended up just almost always using the outside display. Now, I know that the beta version, because I have it on mine, she didn't. But when I switched a few days later, the beta version came out and fixed that. Kind of fixed it. It allowed you to change the aspect ratio of any app and make it take up the full screen and hopefully look better. And she didn't get that opportunity to do that. And that was a big takeaway for her, is that at the time of her using it, and she wasn't on the beta versions, using that inside display to have apps didn't use up the full display. So it ended up being a little bit of a turn-off, and another reason why she wanted to go to the Z Fold 5. And the Z Fold 5, it's just like almost, you can control the aspect ratio right off the bat. You don't have to wait for any beta versions. And a lot of the apps now at this point are full screen on the Z Fold 5. She also didn't like having to always rotate the display in order to get certain apps to fit right. I changed the aspect ratio on Instagram, but before I always had to have it like this to even get close to having anything that was kind of normal in terms of an aspect ratio. So she was like, why do I always have to rotate it? It's just a pain in the butt. So, to go back to those inner screen woes, that was another one of them. Now, as for the cameras with the Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5, she feels like she was getting better outdoor photos with the Pixel Fold. She hasn't taken a ton of photos in general, but basically she did like the Pixel Fold cameras, but she likes the brightness of the Z Fold 5. She thinks that the Pixel Fold kind of takes a dark photo, but it's her opinion, so that's what she was feeling. So what I think it all comes down to is she probably would have stuck with the Pixel Fold and not gone to the Z Fold 5 if, when she had it, and she could still go back, if she had it to the point where the inside apps looked full screen and she was maybe on the beta and she was happy in that regard. Because otherwise, you know, everything else isn't that bad in terms of how she was using it and the things that she was kind of turned off by. And the grand scheme of things aren't huge deals. It's really just getting the software and the apps right for this inner display so you end up using it more. So again, not a terribly bad thing about the Pixel Fold, because again, that Android 14 update's gonna fix some of those woes. But as of right now, she's happy with her Z Fold 5. She likes the customizations that she's putting on there. She's got like a Halloween theme, and she's pretty happy with that at this point. I haven't heard her complaining pretty much at all with that phone. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Let me know your thoughts if you switched from one phone to the other out of those Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5. Either way, let us know. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.